Good morning, everybody. Hello and happy Wednesday. I hope you're all really well today. It's absolutely lovely to meet you. So, as Miss Felsitter said, my name is Miss Mandy and I live in England. I live in a beautiful seaside town called Brighton, and that's about an hour away from London. Now, some of you might have been lucky enough to visit maybe England, maybe you visited London, maybe you've even visited Brighton. So maybe I'll be able to see you one day down by the beach. Now, today we have a fantastic story for you, and I'm very excited to share it with you. Today's story is called Out of This World. Now, I wonder you're thinking, gosh, what's that story going to be about? I'm going to give you a little clue. Are you ready? Oh, there you are. That's your clue. I wonder whether you can guess what it's all about. So I'm going to share my story with you, and let's make a start. Okay, so today's story, Out of This World, we will be identifying words that have silent letters where SC is used. So you will hear the S sound, but not the C. I wonder if you can think of some words that might begin with SC or have that sound in that word. You will also be learning how to use commas to indicate parenthesis. Now that's a big word, but parenthesis means when you have extra or unnecessary information and you use the commas so that to show that you put in that extra information. You're also going to be learning some more new vocabulary, lots of new words today, and in particular, some scientific language like laboratory and evidence. Exciting. Okay, now also we will be developing our emotional intelligence and critical thinking. So I'll be asking you to think about how important it is not only to think about how you feel about something, but also to listen to and consider other people's perspectives, other people's feelings. Like, not how I feel about this, but how might somebody else feel? And also, we're going to be thinking about how would you respond? What would you do if you were in the main character's situation? The main character of our story today is a girl called Leah. So I'll be asking you to think about how you would feel if you were Leah. Also, you will be learning lots of new vocabulary. Wow. And I'm really hoping that by the end of this lesson, you'll have come away learning some new words, and maybe you'll be thinking about some fantastic, interesting, fun sentences that you can use your new vocabulary that you've learned from today's lesson. Okay, right, are we ready to go? So let's start. Okay, out of this world. Okay, now, Leah was an 8-year-old girl. She is the world's youngest scientist. She has been working very hard from a very young age to learn as much as she possibly can. She listens to her teachers and mentors. She reads books and she does experiments. How hard do you work? Now, I wonder how old you are, and do you work hard? Do you listen to your teachers? Do you listen to your mentors? Now, it's a mentor. This is a person who guides you. And also, do you ever do any experiments, scientific tests, I wonder? Last year, Leah made a breakthrough in her research into other planets. Looking through her telescope, she spotted an alien spaceship. Wow. Okay, so there she is with her dad doing experiments. Okay, now this is your chance now. I'll be looking at these a little bit later, but as we go through our story today, I'll be asking you a few questions. And if you have any thoughts or you'd like to share your answer with me, please do go ahead and you can put it in the chat box. Some of you might have read these questions already. Now, why do you think Leah works hard? Why do you think she works hard? And now this is a fantastic, I love this question. What do you do to learn new things? Okay, Miss Felsitter? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, got it.
Leah rubbed her eyes in disbelief. She couldn't believe that this was true. Had she just found that aliens do, in fact, exist? She peered through the telescope once more. A bright, glowing green light was approaching. The spaceship had started to descend into the field next to her laboratory. Oh, it's descending, going down. Now, the laboratory, do we know what that word is? That means it's a room that's actually specially used for scientific work. Maybe you've visited a laboratory. Maybe you have a laboratory in your school. With her heart pounding in her chest and her mind racing, Leah sprinted to the laboratory door. She yanked it open. She pulled it really hard and she slowly crept towards the spaceship, which had landed neatly in the middle of the field. Wow! Can you imagine if you had one of these that suddenly landed in a field near you? Wow, that would be exciting. So, now a couple more questions for you. Why do you think Leah rubbed her eyes? Remember, she rubbed her eyes in disbelief. And how do you think Leah was feeling when she left the laboratory? Again, if you'd like to write something in the chat, I'd love to read your answers later. Okay. The spaceship door, to Leah's astonishment, began to open. A brilliant white light started to shine. Leah shielded her eyes, but could just about see a human-like figure emerging. As the creature drew nearer, she saw that it was, in reality, not very human-like at all. It was completely purple, with large, mysterious black eyes, gigantic hands and feet. Leah tried to speak, but she just couldn't. The alien, who appeared to be much calmer than she was, simply smiled and waved at her. Before Leah could respond, the white light appeared again and the alien was gone. Okay, wow. So the alien has this, I love this description. Purple, large, mysterious black eyes, gigantic hands and feet. Wow, that's really a fantastic description, isn't it? So, how would you feel if you were Leah? And also, why do you think the alien is smiling? Why do you think the alien's smiling? Okay, put something in the chat and we'll have a little look at that later. Okay, well done. All doing really well. Leah headed back to the laboratory, completely bewildered by the scene she'd just witnessed. So she just felt really rather confused by what she'd just seen. Her mentor, remember that's the person who helps and guides you, Sophia, was returning from lunch. She spotted the look of shock on her face. Concerned, she asked, "Leah, what's the matter?" I saw an alien, Leah stuttered. What? Sophia replied. That's not possible. I did, Leah insisted. It was huge and purple and it came from a spaceship and it even smiled and waved at me. Sophia frowned. Can you frown? So express look of big concentration. Really? She knew that Leah was a very intelligent, clever young girl, but after all, she was still a child. It's just your imagination, Leah. imagination is a powerful thing, especially in young people. Oh, now this is a question. Why doesn't Sophia believe Leah about the alien? Why doesn't she believe Sophia? Can you write down your thoughts about this one in the chat? Why doesn't Sophia believe Leah about the alien? Okay, let's carry on. Leah struggled to fight back her tears. Oh, she must feel really frustrated. It's very hard when you want to tell somebody and they don't believe you. But what she saw shouldn't be ignored just because she's young. Why did her own mentor find it so hard to believe her? The next day, whilst trying her best to focus on her work, I hope you do that, she saw the familiar green light again. So she'd already seen it and it was familiar because it was something she recognised, and she's looking out for that green light now. The alien had returned. This time, Leah decided she would prove that she wasn't imagining it. She would show Sophia evidence of the alien. But how? Now, she's going to look for evidence, Sophia. So she's going to try and find a way to prove and show that something is true. In this case, she wants to prove that the alien is real. Wow. Okay. So, this is a lovely question. What would you use as evidence of the alien being there? So what would you look for if you think, well, I've seen this alien? How would you prove it? How would you prove? I'm showing you one of my friends, my alien friends. What would you do to say, prove that you've seen it? And why is it important for Leah to prove that she's right? She wants people to believe her. So what would you do to prove that you're right? Put it in the chat and I'll have a little look later. Okay, carrying on. I've got it, Leah thought. I will take a photograph of the alien in the field. Wow, good thinking, Leah. That way, Sophia can't doubt that it's real. So she won't doubt it. Doubt means that somebody doesn't believe something. So if I take a photograph, then surely she'll know that it's real. Leah quickly grabbed her camera, sprinted outside once more. When she was close enough with the alien in good view, she took a snap. As the photo began to print, she beamed at what she was seeing. She'd managed to get the whole alien in the shot. Woo! Wow. Can you imagine taking a photograph of an alien? I wonder whether you would beam and have a big smile from ear to ear, beaming that you're very excited you've got your photo. Look at Leah, she looks very happy with her photograph, doesn't she? Now, I really would love to hear what you think about this one. Why do people doubt things? Why don't people always believe what we tell them? Can you think why? Okay. Leah returned to the laboratory and knocked excitedly on Sophia's door. Sophia, look! I took a photo of the alien! See? Leah leaned down to take leaned down to take a closer look at the photograph. There! That's real evidence, Leah continued. Sophia stayed silent. Sophia, say something. Sophia whispered. Leah, it's just a field. There is no alien. Oh, there's no alien? Leah grabbed the photo, but Sophia was right. The alien who had been so clearly visible in the photo before, was gone. Oh no. Look, Sophia's saying there is no alien. So nothing to be seen. Oh no. Now, a question for you. Why do you think that the alien disappeared from the photograph? The alien was in the photograph, disappeared. Why do you think? Can you write something for me in the chat? Tell me why you think they might have disappeared. Okay. This time, Leah couldn't fight back her tears. She really was so upset. It really was there, she cried. At least I think it was. I feel so silly now. I thought you just didn't want to believe me, but I don't have any evidence for you. So she doesn't know what to do now because she's got no way of proving this. Sophia placed her hand on Leah's shoulder reassuringly. So she was being very comforting and saying, don't worry, it's fine. Look, Leah, you're a brilliant scientist. I'm sorry if I made you doubt that. It's hard for me as an adult, as a grown-up, to believe in things so quickly. Now, have you ever wondered why a straw becomes bent in water, for example? I wonder if you've ever done that. Well, it's not really bent, it just looks that way. So sometimes our mind can play tricks on us, and that's why I find it hard to believe in things like big purple aliens. It's not because of you. Leah hadn't thought of it from Sophia's point of view. She understood it now. It wasn't just because of her age. Sophia would have a hard time believing this from anyone. So, do you remember we talked about at the beginning of the story before the lesson began, and we said about thinking about not how you see things from your point of view, but how somebody else might see it. Okay, so it's very hard for Sophia to believe everything, quite as easily maybe as Leah. Okay, so I'm going to have another little question for you. So, this is a big question. Why is it important to see things from other people's view? Why do you think? Why do you think we should also think about how other people might see things, not just what we think? Have a little think, put your answers in the chat. And also, have you ever seen a straw in water? Maybe later on today you can get a straw, put it in some water, see what happens, see what you can see. That's a nice little extra for you after today's lesson. Just as she was about to give up, suddenly the spaceship's green light appeared once more. Oh, the alien was back. Wow. They both ran outside and the alien turned to face them. Leah, oh, wow, Leah, I'm so sorry. You were right. Leah accepted Sophia's apology. After all, it wasn't easy to believe in big purple aliens, or maybe a few aliens like these. Wow, okay, so, I love that story. So, Leah bravely approached the smiling alien. I hope you don't mind, but I took a photograph of you before. Why did you disappear and then come back? Leah asked, not knowing even if the alien spoke any English. The alien, though silent, somehow seemed to understand. Leah liked to think that it was helping her. It gestured towards Sophia and with a wink, can you do a wink? Returned to its spaceship and flew off into the sky. Well, said Sophia, looks like we've got a lot more to learn about the universe. So isn't that fantastic? Sophia did also see the alien in the spaceship, and then she knew that she did believe Leah. Okay, so why did Leah accept Sophia's apology? Put your thoughts in the chat. So why did Leah then say it's okay and Sophia said sorry? Okay, now we have activity time. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the lesson. Now, sometimes this is all about to practice our spelling. So sometimes the S sound is spelt SC, but the C remains silent. Now, I've got a few sentences here, and I want to see if you can spot the spelling mistakes below. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do one by one, and you might be looking at these already and started already. And maybe in the chat, you can just pick out the words in each of the sentences that you think that the spelling mistake is there's a little bit something wrong with it, and see if you can correct it. Let's look at the first one. The scientist saw the spaceship descend. Can you see something that might be a little bit not right there with the spellings? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We've got scientist has an SC spelling. And there was that word in the story we came, descend, which means to go down. Do you remember the spaceship descended? And descend. If you got those right, give yourself an alien high five. Well done. It was a fascinating scene. Do one of those words not look quite right with their spelling? Shall we see? It was a fascinating scene. Good job. Hope you got that right. Well done if you did. The moon sometimes appears to be a crescent. Which of those words do you think? Let's have a see. And the word is crescent. Excellent. Well done, everybody. Please, can I borrow your scissors? Which of those is a SC word? Let's see. Scissors! Yay! Well done. The scent of roses hung in the air. I wonder, did you choose scent? Yay! You get a spaceship. High five there. The human body contains muscles. Okay, children, let's see if you got this right. Muscles! Well done indeed. Excellent. Okay, now we're just going to go through a few of these. Commas are sometimes used to separate a parenthesis. As I told you earlier, that parenthesis is a big word, but that just means extra or unnecessary information in a sentence. So the sentence would still make sense if the words between the two commas were removed, okay? So we're going to look at rewriting the corrected sentences, but little hint, not all of them need to be corrected. So if you can, maybe in the chat, you could write out the correct sentence and put the commas where you think they need to be. So let's look at this first sentence. We'll just do a few of these, I think. Leah, an 8-year-old girl, is the world's youngest scientist. Now, there's a couple of commas in this sentence, but I wonder if you put them in the right place. So whether it's extra, unnecessary information. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the answer. Okay, so Leah, an 8-year-old girl. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of our little. Oops. Oh. Leah, an 8-year-old girl, is the world's youngest scientist. Did any of you get that right? I hope you did. Did you put the commas in the right place? Because the extra, but not necessary information, an 8-year-old girl, if you took that out, you could just say the sentence would be, Leah is the world's youngest scientist. So an 8-year-old girl is a little bit of extra information. Okay, how did you get on? Now, sentence B, had she just found evidence that aliens do, in fact, exist? What do you think about that one? Well, hopefully you have thought, actually, the commas are in absolutely the correct place there, because had she just found evidence that aliens do exist? The extra unnecessary information was, in fact. Finally, the spaceship door, to Leah's astonishment, began to open. So where are we going to put the commas there? Okay, so we would write the spaceship door, comma, to Leah's astonishment, comma, began to open. Okay, so because to Leah's astonishment is the extra unnecessary information. Okay, right, we're going to leave those there. This is just a few scientific words that we need to match to the pictures. So I wonder, you'll be able to do this really, really quickly. Hopefully you will see this word scientist and you would put it with the picture of the scientist. This person in the middle is doing an experiment, and this is a picture of a telescope. Good job, well done. I'll give you an alien high five if you got those all correct. Well done, children. Okay, now this is a little home assignment which you might want to do later on after the lesson. So drawing an alien spaceship, use as many sensory words as you can to label it. Think about what it looks like, colours, shape, size, and what sounds you might hear inside, how it smells, and how it might feel to touch. Maybe you can have a look at that a bit later on. Okay, so now we're going to do some more activities, and apologies, I'm going to go back here, and this is the one I wanted. Sorry, guys. Okay. So we're just going to look at a few more little activities out of this world. So here we have Sophia. Do you remember? She had her photograph of the alien. She was so convinced that she was going to prove and have evidence for Sophia that aliens existed. And this is her with Sophia, when Sophia realizes that Leah was in fact telling the truth. Okay, let's recap. We just covered a lot. So let's revise what we learnt. Now, what was the colour of light that Leah saw through her telescope? Now, this is where you're going to join in with Miss Bellsitter. Miss Bellsitter is going to kindly read me out the answer, what you've written. I'm going to give you the options. So what was the colour of light that Leah saw through her telescope? Was it white, blue, green or red? And he went so quickly.
Yeah.
How did they get on, Miss Bellsitter? How did they do? Did they get the right colour?
Yeah, Rakshan says it's green.
Yay, it is.
Ayu says it's green.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, we have, some say blue and green.
Oh, well, the correct answer was green. Well done. Give yourself an alien high five if you got that right. Correct. Let's see the next question. Thank you, Miss Bellsitter. What was the colour of the alien in the lesson? Now, I, Miss Mandy, have been showing you lots of my friends, the aliens of all sorts of different colours. But I'm talking about the colour of the alien that Leah met in the story. What was the colour? Do you remember there was a fantastic description of that alien? So these are your options. You can choose from green. Was the alien purple? This is in the story, remember? Was it red? Was it white? Off you go.
I already have an answer. Green.
Oh, yeah.
Maulini says still it's green.
Oh, any other colours, children?
Purple. Kayu says it's purple.
Uh-huh. Shall I tell you? The answer was the actual colour. I've shown you lots of different aliens today, but the colour of the alien in the story was purple. Did anybody get purple? Oh,
Wow, you have many answers for purple, by the way.
Oh, wow. Okay. An alien high five for those. Well done. Okay. Thanks, Miss Bellsitter. Right. Punctuation. Very important for us when we're learning English. So punctuation is the use of spacing, conventional signs, and basically it helps us to correctly read written text, whether read silently or aloud. So, for example, these signs are known as punctuation marks. There are so many types of punctuation marks. In fact, there are 14 common ones. But just for today, don't panic, children. We are going to be covering the 4 major ones today. They are full stops, commas, question mark, or exclamation mark. I love an exclamation mark. Okay, full stop. The full stop is placed at the end of statements that are thought to be complete. So, for example, John went to the market. Full stop. Complete statement. As the statement's complete, there's no other information, declaration, nothing else to it. We use a full stop at the end. Okay? So, a comma. We used the commas a little bit earlier, didn't we? Now, to show extra unnecessary information. Now, the comma is used to show a separation of ideas or elements within the structure of a sentence. It also can be used in numbers, dates, and letter writing after the greeting and closing. For example, thanks for all your help, John. We went to the movies and then we went out to lunch. Susie wanted the black, green, and blue dress. It's a comma. Question mark. A question mark is placed at the end of any statement that is a question and is interrogative in nature. So that literally means interrogative, means asking a question. It's questioning. For example, did Mary have lunch today? When did Jane leave for the market? Another question. These statements seek to ask a question and therefore we use the question mark. Okay, exclamation mark. Mandy favourite. The exclamation mark, whoop, is used when a person wants to express a sudden outcry or add emphasis. I love a bit of emphasis. So, my surprise birthday party was fabulous. I topped the class. Since these statements exclaim or showcase great emotion, we use the exclamation mark. Activity time. Okay, this is your challenge, final challenge, to use the correct punctuation. Now, question 1. Will Thomas play today? Do we need to put a full stop at the end, question mark, a comma, or exclamation mark? Will Thomas play today? Miss Bellsitter, can you tell me what are the children saying?
Yes. Children, go ahead and type your answer. This is a full stop, question mark, comma, or exclamation mark. Waiting for your answers. Okay, Rakshan says it's a question mark.
Wow, okay.
Ayush also agrees with the same.
Wow, shall we see? Of course, will Thomas play today? The answer is question mark. Correct. Well done. Question 2. Someone dialed the wrong number, but she was very polite. Will we be using a full stop, a question mark, a comma, or an exclamation mark? Okay, Miss Bellsitter, again, what have the children written?
Okay, Kavininda says it's a question mark.
Okay. Any other ideas? Someone dialed the wrong number, but she was very polite.
So then please shoot up your answers.
Okay.
Okay, Rakshan says it's comma.
Yeah.
Maulini also says it's a comma.
Okay. Wow.
Says it's a full stop.
Oh, okay. Shall we see what the answer is? The answer is a comma. So, because there were two separate ideas, so the comma separates the two separate statements. If you got that right, well done. Okay. Now, practice makes perfect, so don't worry. If you didn't get it right this time, I'm sure you will next time. Now, next one. I want to go out to the market. So, is that full stop, a question mark, comma, or exclamation mark? Oh, and before I've even asked you, I might have accidentally shown you the answer. What did you write?
Still, we have Sanjit saying it's a comma.
Okay.
Yes, we are still waiting for your answers. Kayush says it's a full stop.
All right.
Nitin says it's a comma.
Uh-huh.
We have Divyashri, Sri Chandan saying it's a full stop. Maulini also.
Okay. Shall we see what the answer is? I want to go out to the market.
Full stop.
Okay. Well, it's a complete sentence in itself. It's a complete statement. There's nothing extra. So the answer is, in fact, full stop. Okay, last question. I can't believe that Harry failed the English test. So, is that a full stop at the end, a question mark, a comma, or an exclamation mark? I can't believe that Harry failed the English test. What do you think, children? Let the spell sitter know, and she will let me know. Okay, do we have any answers there, Miss Sitter? Okay, I'll just have a look and see. Are they right? And it is, yay! An exclamation mark. Well done indeed. Okay, well done. Wow, fantastic, children. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to here. Okay, so now that is more or less the end of today's lesson. So really, really well done. We packed a lot into today's lesson, didn't we? I really hope you enjoyed the story. I really hope it made you think about, thinking about what it's like to think about if you need to persuade somebody to believe what you believe, and think about other people's perspectives. I hope you thought about and maybe learnt some new words and some new spellings, and hopefully you've learnt a little bit of punctuation and grammar as well. And it's been absolutely lovely. So now all I need to do is say that I'm going to get into my alien spaceship, and don't forget, if you see a green light one day when you're looking out into the sky, you never know who you might see. Okay, so I'm going to say thank you so much, children. It's been absolutely lovely to meet you today, and well done. Thank you so much. I'm really going to look forward to seeing your comments in the chat. And yeah, bye-bye. Happy Wednesday. Thank you.